for the Arts Festival Summit 2022 in Yerevan, Armenia. Hosted by the Yerevan Perspective International Music Festival. More info on EFA's website.
Good morning, everyone. Before I actually say really good morning to you, I would like our president, Jan Bries, to address you with a very brief good morning to people online on the screen, which we just saw, who we just saw, and above all to you here in the hall.
Good morning. I just was thinking, what should I say? Well, when do we have a good EFA General Assembly? That's when you go home with at least one great, super great idea for your next festival. And sometimes, even that one idea, I didn't got it. But this year, I count on all of you to exchange your ideas. And that's why we're here today, to exchange ideas. To listen to Catherine, of course. Like always, we do that. We do that very with all our hearts. So I give you the mic.
The mic switched off again. Thank you, Jan. Good morning, everyone here in the room. As I said, I'm very happy to spend this day with you. It's a long day. It's an intense day. It's, I think, a day with a rich program, and as Jan said, a program that allows for a lot of dialogue, a lot of exchange on ideas, views, and visions. We have in these first 90 minutes a couple of points that we would like to introduce, and we are seated here around in quite a close way to each other. And that's the idea also in a way of this session. To start with the core of festival making, the core of what most of the people here in the room do, which is running a festival in their local communities. And based on this core of festivals who stuck their head together and thought about what we call the 70 years on agenda, which puts pertinent issues of festival making central. After this first block, we are going to look into the context that is surrounding us as festival makers, and the context is global, and the context is related to questions of sustainability, of climate challenges that we are all facing. So we have a brief focus on that. And after this, we come to a central piece of these 90 minutes, which is our festival's invitation in a certain context, block 2, with partners. And our most important partners when we think of festival making are our cities, are the places where we do our cities and valleys, I have to say, territories that EFA for the last couple of years has linked up with and has led dialogue with. And we are very happy today that together with 7 cities that are present here, actually 6 of the 7, we are going to launch what we see here, the EFA seal for festival cities and regions. And for us, as we feel a kind of mature, aged, but very young in our thinking association, it is something that is important to us. So we say yes to the arts, we say yes to festivals, and we say this yes in the thinking that it is something that is always under continual construction and needs our attention. And I'm very happy to have with us in this moderation Tom Creed again. And Tom, the session is called Ready, Steady, Tom. Block 1.
Yes, thanks, Catherine. It was a real privilege for me to be invited to be part of the 70 Years On Thinking group. And I guess I've been involved with EFA for 10 years. I participated in the Atelier for Young Festival Managers in Ljubljana in 2012. So I've been around for 10 of those 70 years. And it's been a real privilege and a real learning experience for me to encounter people like you in this context. And so the 70 Years On Thinking group is something that started at the last summit in Galway. and a group of around 20 practitioners, festival makers, artists, policymakers came together to start thinking about what the next 70 years might look like. And over a number of conversations, which were rich and fruitful and full of challenge and disagreement and all of these things, the 70 Years On Thinking Group has come up with a 15-point agenda which we're presenting today. And this is like what we do as an organization, as EFA, as festivals. It's something that is under continual construction. So the announcement of this, or the launch of these 15 points today, is just a moment, another moment in the life of EFA and the life of festivals. But it's fantastic that we have many members of the 70 Years On Thinking Group here today. And I'd love to call on 5 people who are in the room, and then one person who will join us online, to share each one of the points from this agenda, and maybe reflect on that a moment, just to give you a little bit of context for this this agenda and this these series of statements to which we say yes today. So to begin with, is Davinia Galea here? Davinia, if you could come up and share one of the points with us.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Catherine. Good morning. I'm going to share point 8 with you, which is about festivals fulfilling a mission by translating the alien into the familiar. And I said, how, we might ask? Because festivals offer a casual setting and a context for coming together. Because festivals are a live gift of cultural exchange between the city, the artist, and the audience. It's a matrix of exchange. Why? Because it could be a new city or your city. It could be an intercultural exchange between the artists, or intercultural between the city and the audience, a means of exchange. A matrix of exchange. The festival itself is a form of travel. It's a form of travel to new destinations. It becomes a discovery and an experience of the alien that becomes the familiar. Festivals create these feelings and open our minds, our eyes, and our ears to the unfamiliar. Festivals, therefore, offer a means of cultural diplomacy. From a citizen's rather than a politician's perspective, it enables soft power from encounter to dialogue to exchange to transformation, from the alien to the familiar, through attractive dynamics rather than through coercion. It's a matrix of multidimensional factors. Festivals set about cultural diplomacy through this soft power process that offers a bottom-up approach. The festival has a meaningful role within society, the casual and informal exchange between the context, which is the city, and the space that gather the artists and audiences together. It's a powerful cultural diplomacy tool. That is a festival. Thank you.
Tom, I'm just interrupting you. Sorry, we are going ahead with the second one, but I just wanted to greet, before she's leaving, Barbara on the screen. I don't know, I'm sorry that I'm interrupting the PowerPoint presentation. If we can just have a look at the screen. Barbara, you will probably hear us, and you can see me now. We will have you with us with a little video message a little bit later today, because the morning, she doesn't seem to be there. The morning.
I'm here.
Are you there?
Yeah.
I don't even know where I have to look to.
I'm sitting still in the theater in Germany virtually.
Okay.
But I'm not in Armenia, and you will hear my message that I recorded. But just to use the opportunity that I'm here, and I see a couple of people around in the room, and just to greet you to Yerevan. I hope you're all safe and fine, because the news that we received over the night were a little bit worrying from Armenia. So this is a greeting mixed with some expression of concern for you. But what you're going to celebrate today, and the initiative that you're taking today, is really a nice one and a great one. and I wish you a successful continuation of your conference, Katrin and everyone, and Jan and everyone.
Thank you so much at this early hour, and of course all celebrations, Barbara, that EFA is doing always are happening in a context. Already the founding of EFA in '52 happened in a context after a devastating time. We have the context of Armenia here and things that happened this night here. We have a lot of participants from Ukraine here who shared their story. So we are aware of the context that is surrounding us and that we are facing, and we are taking this up in all our conversations. Thank you, and your message will be played at the end of the session. Thank you, Barbara. Barbara Gessler is head of DG EAC at the European Commission in Brussels, and really a great supporter of the work that networks in general, but in particular also EFA is doing for the last 20 years, I think, Barbara. I think.
Cheers.
Tom.
Thank you, Barbara. And for those of you who are slightly alarmed and haven't seen the news, there was a report over the night that the conflict with Azerbaijan has broken out at the northern border, but we are assured that there's nothing for us to be worried about here. But I guess it's a reminder, of the context where EFA and so many festivals came out of 70 years ago, and as we've been hearing from our colleagues in Ukraine yesterday, that this is one of the contexts that we're working in. So yeah, thank you, Davinia, for your point. It's fantastic to be on this journey with you, and we say yes. And now I'd like to invite Tamar Bruggemann to come and share 1 or 2 points with us.
Yes, thank you. I'm honored to highlight point 1, and I first read it to you. Festivals are among the most effective social hubs in modern life. They are colliders between artists and the audience, integrators between layers of society, where people interact and share views. Festivals are accelerators of processes and phenomena in the community. Well, there are many festivals that have influenced or even changed their surroundings, communities, and individual lives, as we all know. And I would like to highlight one of them with perhaps a somewhat unexpected example. And maybe it is a bit early in the morning, but it's all about beer. Just before the summer, I went to one of our biggest festivals in Europe for the first time, Roskilde in Denmark. Around 130,000 festival goers celebrated its 5th anniversary, gathering at the same place at the same time. Roskilde has inspired me for years with everything they do in the field of social and environmental sustainability, and it was great to finally be there and experience the festival for real. Not least because it was also my first time in my life that I found myself in a mosh pit and survived. Roskilde's biggest sponsor is Tuborg, the well-known Danish beer brand made big by their Tuborg Pilsner. With their principle of using their natural resources responsibly and aiming for net zero in 2025, Roskilde wanted to switch to organic beer for all festival goers. However, Tuborg did not have an organic beer in their range. Apparently, they were stimulated by the demand and the discussion with Roskilde, because eventually Tuborg brewed Tuborg Orange, especially for the festival in 2019, intended as a one-off special beer. But after the success at Roskilde, the 100% organic beer became available at other events throughout the Danish summer and was finally included in the production chain of Tuborg and is now available in all supermarkets. For me, this is an incredibly inspiring example of how we as festivals can move unexpected partners, how we can align with people who initially do not seem to be moving in the same direction, how we as a society at scale can function as a lab and change everyday life. Which brings me to the first statement of the agenda. The catalytic potential of festivals deserves to be harnessed to all kinds of causes. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamar. We say yes to that, and maybe we'll raise an organic beer to that this evening, if we can find one here in Yerevan. Next, I'd like to call on Peter Florence to share one of the points with us. Thanks, Peter.
Catherine, thank you. It's a great privilege to be here, and I got point 6, and instead of talking about it, I thought I would read you something. I should say that for context, I have for 30 years run literature festivals across the world, from Brazil to Budapest to Dhaka, and in Hay-on-Wye in Wales, and around the Latin American world. And what I want to read you applies as much to every other art form as it does to literature, but it was written by someone who absolutely embodies the spirit of contradiction and provocation and freedom, and who couldn't be here even if we'd invited him, because he's in a hospital bed in New York. And this is a very short paragraph by Salman Rushdie from his essay In Imaginary Homelands. And it's a prayer. Go for broke. Always try and do too much. Dispense with safety nets. Take a deep breath before you begin talking. Aim for the stars. Keep grinning. Be bloody-minded. Argue with the world. And never forget that writing is as close as we get to keeping a hold on the 1,001 things, childhood, certainties, cities, doubts, dreams, instants, phrases, parents, loves, that go on slipping like sand through our fingers.
Yes to that, Peter. And yeah, we think of Salman Rushdie as we gather here today, along with all of the other artists and arts workers who are suffering and who have so many obstacles in the way of getting their art out. And I guess one of the things, one of our roles as festival makers is to carve out the spaces for those voices to be heard. So yes to that, Peter. Next, I'd like to call on Jovanka Vizikruna-Jankovic to share one of the points with us.
Thank you. Good morning. It is nice to be here with you. And after hearing such wise words before me, I would like to keep it simple. I would like to talk about education from my own experience. So I think, point 4, festivals have a very strong educational potential. And I believe that through festivals, our audiences can learn a lot. The role of the artists is to share their own knowledge, their art, their creativity, their talent, and we can all benefit from it. Festivals are places for children to grow and to learn through art. I would like to say that my festival, Artlink Festival, was founded with the idea to bring a new platform for children and for young talents. And until now, we have developed a program for young musical talents. We have developed this Artlink Young Talent Cycle, and I'm very proud of it, because I can see now 15 or 17 generations of young talents who are now playing at the most important European stages. This is for me enormous result. Also, children can play about their environment through festivals. We have created several board games for children on the topic of the environment, and this year we are going to promote it in the schools in the Western Balkans. They will learn about their environment and they will learn how to protect the nature through the game. So this is my experience, and this is what I would like to wanted to share with you. Enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Jovanka, and yes to building the future in our festivals. Now I'd like to call on Emily Ansank to share one of the points with us.
Thank you. I'll elaborate on point 5. I would like to emphasize the importance of building ourselves archives for keepsaking our past for future audiences. A 75-year-old festival like the Holland Festival or Edinburgh International Festival, we are more than festivals. We are actually institutions with a strong reputation. And as festivals, we all foster and collect magical moments, and sometimes even life-changing experiences through live performances. Some have been so special, they have found a way to our collective minds and memory as if everybody was there, just by oral stories or other more digital ways of transmission. As festival organizers, we bring together artists and audiences in the most perfect setting as possible. During the pandemic, the perfect setting changes radically out of necessity from live stage to different digital or more distant ways. We researched, experimented, and learned fast new ways of making our contact to get to and connect with our audiences. Instead of taking small steps to save the ephemeral and document our programs, we have been taking innovation seriously and made giant steps in the digital domain. Not only by registering, filming and streaming, but also by clearing rights, editing our archives and unlock the history of our institutions for the audience of today and of the future. The communications with at least 3 kinds of audiences, being it our international audience, the people that have limited access for our festivals for reasons of price, for safety, or because of disabilities, or the third, to reach new audiences, have been possible through the investment in digital forms. My point is, or actually our point is, by documenting the ephemeral, festivals are conscious of their role in preserving the cultural heritage of the future and collaborating with other partners, national broadcasting, audiovisual archives, other cultural institutions, website builders, rights clearing expertise are our partners to achieve all this. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, everyone. Yes to causes, yes to plurality of opinion, yes to the future, yes to recording the past and making that part of the future. So those are a few of the points that you can find in this agenda, and you can find the rest of them in the agenda, which is on your table, or on your chair, I should say. And now I'd love to invite Eyal Sher, who is in the middle of his festival in Israel, to share his thoughts with us. Eyal, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry that I'm not with you. My own festival is starting tomorrow. It's very exciting. I'd like to talk just for a minute and a half about how we translate the values that we decided to embrace into action. And the answer, of course, is that since we dwell in the arts, we do it artistically. We draw an artistic vision that reflects the values we embrace. Then we curate a program that best represents that vision. But then I would like to suggest that there may be a more proactive, daring, and timely approach. That perhaps of being not simply the curator, but the creator of the works that advance these values. And we covered some of these values, but if I needed to kind of summarize all of them, so they include festivity and creativity and education and heritage, pluralism. I'm reading here: artistic freedom, meeting the other, breaking through political barriers, environment and sustainability, collaboration, accessibility, professionalism, and relevancy. In short, we basically want to change the world. In the upcoming Israel Festival, upcoming right away, we have a curated program that includes, for example, the wonderful Sun and Sea from Lithuania. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. A show that deals with the climate crisis in a way that really only art can. We have created a collaborative Israeli-Turkish music celebration. We bring together Israeli and Moroccan artists to grapple with contemporary cultural, religious, political, gender, family mores, and identity issues. And for anyone not familiar with Israeli-Turkish tensions or with Israeli-Arab politics, these are far from regular cross-cultural collaborations. This is deep people-to-people radical diplomacy. And alongside these large productions, we produce a local version of 1,000 Ways, some of you may be familiar with, from 600 Highwaymen, a simple title for a group. A trilogy that brings 2 or the most 16 complete strangers to meet one another on stage as both audience and public. We want to touch each other. And perhaps the most important thing that we undertake in this festival, we showcase newly arrived Ukrainian refugee artists and anti-Putinist Russian persecuted artists, introducing them to the Israel cultural world. So we're advancing relevancy, pluralism, heritage, and more. So it's indeed a different type of festival. It's a festival for our times. It's more expensive. It's more demanding from a production point of view. The marketing and advertising are taking completely new challenges. But it's a festival that, like festivals always do, looks around itself, identifies needs and trends, and acts as a catalyst for ideas and thoughts, setting the first stroke for a newly imagined future. It's a future that we not only present, but we actually define. And in this confused world, where all known structures are no longer sustainable, art and culture has a critical role. In that, we're not only cultural presenters, we're cultural makers. So let's make.
Beautiful. Tom, this I think is a yes to putting the agenda that you have in front of you on your tables into action.
Yes, but also no.
Which one?
Because some people might here be thinking there's something missing. I'm not sure there's something that's really important to you that you've been thinking about in terms of the festival making that you've been doing. And you're thinking, no, this isn't in the agenda. But this is a reminder that the agenda is something that we continue to make and remake. This agenda is just a moment 70 years on, and we go on from now because the agenda is under continual construction. And to that end, there's a piece of paper on each of your chairs, and we would encourage you over the next few minutes between now and the end of the session to add points to this agenda. Already we're building this together. So which points would you like to add to the 70 Years On Action agenda? Write them here. We'll collect them at the end of the session. And then we can say yes to those too as we go on building this agenda for the future. Back to you, Catherine.
Yes, yes, to continual construction tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock for all those that are really crazy. We invite you to follow and to join the thinking and that thinking group thinking that continues to think and put things into action. I'm very happy we are at block 2. I announced 3 blocks for this session. We are now coming to the context where we all, I think, have a role to play. This context is, as I said, global, and the context has a lot to do with the climate challenge that we are looking at. And I think there is no better person than Inge Köstermans. I think you have a guest with you, but you will announce this guest, because I will announce this guest a little bit later on in about 1 hour as our first keynote speaker. But there is a little appetizer of you, Shaidul, if I may say so. Sorry for that. Very happy to have you here, but I let Inge introduce very briefly the topic, the invitation to you, and the conversation you are having. Inge.
Thank you, Katrin. Shaidul, come and join me. Shaidul Alam is a Bangladesh photographer, renowned Bangladesh photographer, board member of the Festival Academy. Also very proud to have you with me here today. So, as Jan said, sometimes we are in these meetings and we gather these ideas. So, during the Global Salzburg seminar, where both EFA and the Festival Academy participated 2 years ago, we had this idea to bring festivals globally together related to climate change and inequality. So we are launching today International Festivals Declare Emergency. This is in collaboration with Culture Declares Emergency, which is already doing this in the UK and also in other parts in the world, and together with the European Festivals Association. The purpose of this initiative is to create a kind of movement of festivals that are that declare to take action, as we're talking about actions related to climate change and inequality. And it's important because we build a community like this, so we feel less alone in this, because climate change is a massive, or inequality is a massive challenge. So if we can do that together, we are already stronger. We do it globally because there are so many differences on the level of resources, impact, that we need to think in a broader perspective about this, because what works in Europe might not work in Mexico or in Bangladesh or wherever. It's a place for knowledge sharing, where a lot of the knowledge that is already there can be accessed for best practices, and on a longer term also for capacity building, real concrete training on these levels. Shaidul, I pass the word to you to know why is this actually important or needed.
Thank you, Inge. Well, firstly, my trip here, I think, is a good example of how things are. I'll talk about that some other time, but the inequalities that exist in this world aren't always visible. We take a lot for granted. We assume many things that people at the other end of the spectrum feel very, very differently. I represent DRIC, an agency which runs the oldest photo festival in Asia, but we see it not as a festival, but as a movement. And in fact, that relates very much to what this is about. And I think for us, it is important that there be that sharing, that there be a common platform, that there be those learning opportunities, and that festivals become a living entity, as opposed to a single finite event that happens once or twice a year and then is celebrated and forgotten. I think this is very important for us. We've actually set up an entity called the Citizens Platform for Climate Change. It's headquartered in Paris, but DRIC runs the Asian chapter. We've looked at best practices. We've tried to document some of it. And what we've done, hopefully, is to make it more tangible, rather than pretty words that are rhetoric in the mouth of politicians. I think it is also an opportunity for citizens themselves to reclaim some of that space, as opposed to the gatekeepers.
Thank you very much, Shaidul. So for everybody who is interested, there is a call for interest now launched on our website where you can register. Because this is a project that we are not creating on our own. We have a global working group that is building this. So everything you find, also the texts are in process. If there's anybody who is interested to be part of this group, to create this initiative together with us, you're very welcome. So thank you very much, Catherine.
Yes, not to climate change, but yes to linking up, creating a community, raising awareness, and playing a role as festivals. Also one of the agenda points Tamar presented in this context, and it will be followed up by EFA. Now we come to block 3 of that session, and I'm introduced it as the core block of that session, which is the core of the session, but it comes from the core of us, of the festival makers, of us as EFA, that feel mature enough with our 70 years on our shoulders and responsible enough and ready enough, prepared enough to invite into the festival's context conversation partners that I think are important when we think when we think to our local responsibility. And these partners are in particular cities. So we have in the past 3 years really worked with a steering group of a couple of cities, not very hard, but intensely, on thinking further than having a conversation with cities, but turning the conversation into a kind of action, let's say. And I would like to play here a little video, if we are prepared, that explains better than myself how that process and the background looks like. Yes, go ahead.
Festivals reflect the identity of their host cities and regions. In addition to providing a powerful platform to celebrate urban life, the creative power of arts and culture brings citizens closer together. Festivals can shape their environment in multiple ways. Europe for Festivals, Festivals for Europe began as an EU-funded programme to help arts and intercultural experiences assemble and motivate urban and regional communities to play an active role in the development of Europe. Recently, 7 cities and their festival communities initiated a proposal through the European Festivals Association for an EFFE seal for festival cities and regions. Belgrade, Bergen, Edinburgh, Ghent, Krakow, Leeuwarden and Ljubljana have experienced the benefits of innovative cooperation between cities and their festivals. Their proposal will help thousands more cities and their arts festivals to take part and actively promote Europe's cultural diversity and artistic vibrancy. The goals, principles and values of the EFFE seal will be set out in a founding charter that calls for adherence to fundamental European values, as well as creativity, sustainability, internationalism and critical thinking. The EFFE seal celebrates each participating city's achievements towards its festival community and a commitment to common goals and values. Holders of the EFFE seal will feature on the festivalfinder.eu portal, reaching millions across Europe and beyond. As festivals continue to grow in popularity and in numbers, this approach aligns with other important facets of city branding. The broad definition of festival regions also encompasses towns, villages, rural areas, valleys and islands. Greater visibility for what they offer can help streamline best practices, as well as strengthening ties with residents, artists, audiences, tourism and many other stakeholders. Why should cities join? The EFFE seal highlights the impacts festivals generate for their urban, rural and regional environments. The EFFE seal offers an additional dimension to the city brand. Familiarity with peers helps to define the city's own festival strategy. Festival schedules, logistics and marketing can be adjusted better. The EFFE seal is one more anchor from the city to the common European project. If you want to know more about the EFFE seal for festival cities and regions, write to info@efa-aef.eu or visit our website. Regular sharing of experiences of festival cities working with the EFFE seal will be available on festivalfinder.eu and the website of the European Festivals Association.
Voila. This explained what we are talking about with a lot of music and some flashlights and some pictures of those cities that are the founders of that initiative and that thought about the process. And behind the text that you are all having in front of you, and the editor behind is here, Peter Inkai, with me. And Peter, I have one question to you, if I may. We have here many festivals in particular next to the cities that are now signing the seal present. What do you think should these festival makers tell their authorities why and how, or for what purpose they can use and participate in this EFFE process?
Thank you. Without repeating some of the points which we could see in this presentation, which is at hand for the cities when they communicate with their authorities, so they can draw from them. So without bringing examples from that, I would like to point out that this noble conspiracy of the 7 cities went side by side, parallel with the 70 years thinking group. And now they have another instrument with them, with these 15 points, so that assists their communication with the authorities. That is, in addition to the points collected for the EFFE seal, they can also point at the agenda. The other thing I would like to point out is that the goals of the participants in the seal range from the ideological to the practical. And this is what they can point out, that this cooperation helps the cities to follow and to reach ideological and noble, symbolical, even poetic goals, or to go much higher, these global causes of the environment and what the European European Union is for, the basic values. But also, it's a practical cooperation, so they can point out the advantages, the logistical, the marketing, the tourism, the economic, even the taxation aspects, what they can learn from one another and to share with their authorities as the good examples, the best practices to learn and to share. So this is where the seal, this now 7-member, but probably hopefully growing community initiative can offer to the participating cities.
Thank you, Peter. Oh, sorry, I'm taking all away from you. Thank you, Peter. No, I just wanted to underline, before giving back the floor to you, Tom, and start with the 7 cities, really to present how this seal already is brought to life in the cities of the founding festivals, is that we already started the process of inviting more cities to join, and I'm happy that after the presentation of the 7 cities, we have more cities here present that are going and that immediately set to join the process of the EFFE seal. And I'm happy that together with Nele Hertling and Nicolas Bertrand from A Soul for Europe, we had a quite interesting workshop already in parallel to the General Assembly that was dedicated to the topic. So it's not just signing a seal, but it's really also sticking heads together and thinking together about what festivals and cities can do together. Tom, yes to this collaboration?
Yes. Hello? Do I on here? Hi. Yes to that, and I can say the session, I was sitting in on this session with the cities yesterday morning, and I think it will be exciting for everyone to hear from Eric Corrine later today also, who kind of has some really strong ideas coming from his work in Brussels and elsewhere about the idea of cities as laboratories and festivals as urban laboratories, and that'll be something we can talk about and hear about more later. So 6 of the 7 cities are represented here today, and I'm going to invite them to share statements on how in each of their cases do they bring the EFA seal to life in their city. And so we'll start with Bergen. And so on behalf of the city of Bergen and its Vice Mayor Katrine Nordveld, we have Ragni Stoltenberg here. And so just to say, for each of the cities, we have 3 minutes for you to present to us. And then some of the cities will be signing already here. In some cases, the mayors have signed in advance, but in some cases, we'll also invite people to sign. So if you can, share your thoughts with us for 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. I think we got some pictures too. Okay.
The cities can go on stage.
Yeah, the pictures are here. Well, my name is Ragni Stoltenberg, and I work for the City of Bergen in the Department of Art and Culture. I am very happy to be here in Yerevan to share this great event with you all. The City Council in Bergen has decided to join the EFA seal agreement, and I want to talk about what this commitment means to the City of Bergen. Development in the field of art and culture has been based on a clear public voice regarding the importance of art and culture in Bergen. As part of the cultural policy, festivals in Bergen work together with the City Council and various aspects of the community. The City of Bergen aim is to create a place to thrive and grow, and by supporting festivals, this helps to create an enjoyable place to work, live, and visit. People from Bergen grab any opportunity to visit a festival. And Bergen is host to a high number of festivals and major events of a year. In Bergen, we experience that festivals choose to integrate local distinctiveness and available urban spaces in the planning of festivals and events. Cities and festivals need to connect with each other. The community will gain a soul and equal experience or understanding of something greater than themselves. The EFA seal and Bergen's commitment to it could provide the necessary backing to market the city as a cultural festival city. It also ensures a good municipal framework for supporting the city's festivals. It will help to promote the positive impact of festivals on various sectors. So, being entitled to carry the EFA seal means to us a greater international visibility. Not only to promote the festivals and artistry, but also the visibility of community and local culture. The City of Bergen collaborates with the Tourism Board, and the EFA seal and Festival Finder will have direct influence on how the city is marketed as an art and culture city. The integration of Festival Finder will strengthen this visibility. In addition, EFA seal and Festival Finder will also make it easier for festivals to promote themselves nationally and internationally. For Bergen, it is also important to take part in the network that the EFA seal offers, which is all of you. This in order to grow and develop cooperation and exchange with other cities and networks. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ragni. Yes to artistry, yes to visibility, yes to community. And your Vice Mayor has already signed digitally, so thank you so much. Next, on behalf of the City of Ljubljana and its Mayor Zoran Jankovic, we have joining us online Mateja Demzic. Mateja, are you here with us?
Yes.
Welcome. You have 3 minutes to share your statement on how the EFA seal will work for you.
Good morning from Ljubljana. I hope you're all well. As I heard my Israeli colleague, we are also between festivals. We have just closed the Festival of Ljubljana, which celebrates 70th anniversary, and we are starting the Festival Indigo, the Festival of Critical Ideas. My presentation will be based, the one that you will see, on the case Ljubljana. I'm not going to present Ljubljana. Facts are a bit boring. We are one of the smallest European capitals with roughly 300,000 people. It's a seat of the biggest Slovene university, plus of many local as well as national cultural institutions. Ljubljana, right now, as a city of Ljubljana, is supporting several festivals. One also founded, Festival Ljubljana. But on the other hand, we also supported financially the festivals organized by other stakeholders, like non-governmental organizations. Also because of our meetings for last years with EFA, we have started a stronger collaboration with the Tourist Board of Ljubljana and several stakeholders in the field of culture and arts. In 2021, on the very beginning, the discussion, which was from very wide one to then, very focused one, started. And out of that discussion, just yesterday, we have the confirmed document that is called Guidelines of Cultural Tourism, and there is a special part dedicated to the festivals. Now, I'm going to list that what is new. What I want to say also is not that before we haven't had a support for the festivals, but now we started also with knowledge and exchange through EFA, the more structural and more systematic approach to the support to the festivals in the field also, of course, of cultural tourism. The document is going to it's going to be in practice from next year on. But just to, this is going fast. I'm not, where is the EFA seal with that? But still, let me stress some of the new approaches we have created in the document. First, to connect all the stakeholders into consortium festivals by working with the producers. One of the important things is also creating a systematic monitoring. It is also about the visibility of the city, how the festivals and the producers are going to be presented abroad and in sense of new audiences and the cultural tourism. We created a stronger support and as well as a stronger cooperation in triangle festivals producers, Ljubljana Tourism Board, and service providers. It is not that, self-confident, self-understanding in our case, the mobility, accessibility of the city by trains and air, since unfortunately our aircraft company collapsed a couple of years ago, and the mobility to the Slovenia and Ljubljana was a little bit harder than we were used to. We also connect other festivals in the surroundings of Ljubljana, in Ljubljana urban region, into consortium. That was not the case before. So if the process with conversation with EFA brought us to that document, I want to tell you what EFA seal means to the city of Ljubljana. EFA seal is there for us to facilitate our work in local communities in the field of support, visibility, empowering the organizers of the festival. It is a platform where partners discuss, exchange, and share in order to improve themselves as key stakeholders in their communities and cultural landscapes. And it means committed and intense cultural cooperation between cities, regions, neighborhoods, mutual support between festival cities by taking into the consideration all aspects of life, from environmental issues, sustainability to solidarity. Outcomes of such approach are beneficial for all, and have positive outcomes for our communities, cultural entrepreneurs, audiences, and for the national and international visibility of our festivals and cities. That would be in very short. What you see behind are photos of our festivals, from the music festivals to the literature festivals, street theater festivals. Pictures are there to understand that all that what is happening outside our offices is now supported in a more structural way, also thanks to the cooperation that we have started recently. So that would be all from Ljubljana. I'd like to thank you to make it possible to be online with you. And I wish you all the best, and best regards from Ljubljana to Yerevan.
Thank you, Mateja. Thank you so much, Mateja. I haven't been back to Ljubljana since my first encounter with EFA 10 years ago, but I look forward to being back there to experience your festivals. And the signature of your mayor, Zoran Jankovic, is included in the signing book. Next, on behalf of the city of Leeuwarden in the Netherlands, we've here the Deputy Mayor, Hein Kijken. And Hein, I'd like you to come and join us on stage. You have 3 minutes to share how you're going to use the seal, and then I'll invite you to sign the book. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 3 minutes, 4 minutes is allowed as well. For sure. Yeah, thank you very much. Let me say first that I'm very delighted. We are very delighted to be here on behalf of the Leeuwarden delegation. We are with 6 people, 3 people working for the municipality and 3 people working for the festival organization Arcadia. You can find them at the back. And an applause is much needed. But we are very proud to be here in this nice city, in this city which has a great hospitality. And we are very excited to be here amongst you all, inspiring festivals and inspiring other cities. As for Leeuwarden, we were very grateful that we could join the founders of the EFFE seal, Bergen, Belgrado, Edinburgh, Ghent, Krakow and Ljubljana, in order to participate in the development and implementation of the seal. These cities did such a great job in creating a clear vision and document now called the EFFE seal. And we are happy to embrace it and to contribute to it. And why do we embrace the EFFE seal? Well, we were European Capital of Culture in 2018, and that taught us how important festivals are in keeping a good cultural climate. And we promised ourselves in the aftermath to keep Leeuwarden as vibrant as it was during 2018. And taking this EFFE seal proves that we are very serious about this. Not only arts for arts, but also because we know festivals raise awareness and can contribute to solving social problems. How are we gonna implement the EFFE seal? Well, like I said, we are here together with Arcadia, and Arcadia is our legacy organization, and they have very lots of contacts with festivals in Leeuwarden and in our province. And we will use the EFFE seal as a driver to tie the municipality tighter to the festival organizations. And we hope that with a lot of getting togethers, by talking, by working together, that we will better understand the festival climate and stimulate the festival climate. And what does it mean concretely? It means that this fall we are organizing get-togethers with the festivals in the city and the province and discuss the content and meaning of the seal together. We want to talk about how it can help us create a better environment for festivals. What is needed? How can we work together? How can we drive each other forward, cities and festivals? Also, being new members of the EFA, we, Arcadia and Leeuwarden, will share with them our experiences. We will invite you to share your experience with us. Likewise, we will be willing to share our experience with you. At last, I will take the opportunity to thank the festival organization for their tight organization of the summit. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Hein. And now we'd like to invite you to sign the EFA seal.
And on this one. And here we have the memorandum. It's three times, 3 signatures. No, that's one.
Oh, that's another name, yeah, I see.
And you will get after this some copies with you to hang into the City Mayor's Hall. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hein, and welcome, Leeuwarden, to this network. Now, on behalf of the City of Krakow, the Plenipotentiary of the Mayor of Krakow for Culture, Robert Piasowski, if you'd like to join us, share with us how you're going to bring the EFA seal to life in your city, and then we'll invite you to sign. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. 3 minutes is not enough. It's obvious to me. So, first of all, I would like to share with you how happy I am to be here amongst great cities, amongst cities that invest into festivals, environment, into the creativity and cohesion of their communities, because we believe that festivals are organically interdependent. They're providing language and awareness about all of the diversities. They are accelerating processes important for our cities, and they let us being human. They are letting us being different, being ourselves among others. And I believe that cities are mirrors of festivals and vice versa. And someone said that our inhabitants are festivals creatures, and Krakowians are festival species, and me also. I started my work for the city municipality of Krakow, being for 20 years festival director at Krakow Festival Office, organizing around 20 different festivals of our town. How can I switch boards? That would be, yeah, I should ask our team. Yes, but it's already very impressive and very important how EFA seal has changed our perception of the festival's ecosystem in Krakow. We don't believe they are only fireworks or some events over the year, but they are national social movements for change. So we are grateful, we feel responsible. We think that EFA seal is a great tool to raise empathy amongst the festivals, solidarity, collaboration, but also to trigger more livability in our town, which is a historic town. And force of the festivals prevent cities from abuse of the heritage resources, preventing from exploitation of some of the spaces, and also triggering and bringing inhabitants back to the city. And we are medium-sized city, 1 million inhabitants, now 160,000 more Ukrainians. It's a great opportunity and also a big challenge how to involve, include, and present their culture as well. City at the brink of the over-tourism in 2019, hosting 14.5 million tourists. Academia city, but also organizer of 80 different festivals, from very short ones, 1 to 3 days only, to big festivals. And most of them are financed and organized by NGOs, cities, and only 10 festivals, 10% of them are private and driven by private business. Can we go ahead with? So main festivals in attendance, as you see, the biggest one is Wianki Music Festival, 200,000 inhabitants, and some of the small festivals like poetry festivals gathering 5,000 people only, but they all represent all of the sorts of arts. And yes, if there is a 3 minutes only, so I don't want to go through all of the challenges, weaknesses, strengths, and opportunities, but I can share with you afterwards. The only thing I wanted to say on behalf of my mayor, Professor Jacek Majchrowski, mayor of Kraków, that festivals are developing Kraków in many aspects, but the most important for us is to build identity, community, and European ties to be really platform for collaboration, exchange, and empathy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert. We'd like to invite you to sign. Catherine will show you what to do. Welcome, Krakow. Thanks so much for being with us. So we had our colleagues from Edinburgh had intended to be here, but there was the small matter of the funeral of the Queen for them to deal with. So they've sent their apologies, but we do have a statement from the Right Honourable Lord Provost, Mr. Robert Aldridge, which we'll watch now.
Dear mayors, festival organisers, guests and friends across Europe, I'm absolutely delighted that today Edinburgh will sign up as a founder member of the EFFE seal for festival cities and regions. Today's signing marks an important recognition of the crucial relationship between cities and their local festivals. By signing this agreement today, the City of Edinburgh reaffirms its commitment to supporting all our festivals, big and small, and creates opportunities for all of them to connect to all of you across Europe, to encourage new collaborations and co-productions, and to share knowledge and experience. Last month, Edinburgh welcomed back the world as we hosted 6 of our 11 major festivals in their 75th anniversary year. The City Council plays a central role in supporting the delivery of these festivals, and our residents, businesses and visitors benefit greatly from them. Successful festival cities all display a common theme, a strong and supportive relationship between the municipality and its festivals. And as a twin city of Kyiv, I'm absolutely delighted that this Arts Festival Summit will also be looking at what can be done to support Ukrainian artists and festivals. And indeed, we were both delighted and impressed to welcome the Ukrainian Freedom Orchestra to our international festival this year and the Ukrainian Freedom Ballet to our Fringe Festival just a couple of weeks ago. I'm very sorry that I'm not able to join you in person for the signing today, but I very much look forward to Edinburgh playing a leading role in the continued development of the seal and encouraging other cities to join up and publicly demonstrate their support for their festivals. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Edinburgh. And now on behalf of the City of Belgrade, we have with us Milica Stajic from the Fortress of Belgrade and Jovanka Vizakruna-Jankovic, who will speak to us for a few minutes and then we'll sign on behalf of Belgrade. So do you want to show the film and then come and speak to us for 1 or 2 minutes? Yeah? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Jovanka. If you'd like to come and join us on stage.
Thank you for this opportunity to present my city of Belgrade. I was born in Belgrade and educated, and now I'm representing my city in such an important situation. I'm very proud. I would like to thank Belgrade Fortress, Director of Belgrade Fortress, Mrs. Marija Kupreshanin, who has recognized the importance of this initiative and started and joined the initiative 3 years ago on behalf of the city of Belgrade. She is on maternity leave now, and I would like to thank Milica Jeftić for being here with us on behalf of Belgrade Fortress. We have changed the mayor and the cabinet in the past few days, weeks. So it is on us to represent Belgrade. I would like to say that this is a new concept of having the festival at the fortress. Belgrade Fortress is the most significant and recognizable cultural heritage site of Belgrade and also of the region. And this is the first time that we are developing the concept of the festival city at Belgrade Fortress. I would like to say that Belgrade is a festival city, a city of many festivals. You know, for Bita Festival, Bemus Festival, Belle Festival, and many others. But now we have a new initiative to develop the festival city concept at different medieval cities, fortresses in Serbia, and ancient Roma cultural heritage, as you had the opportunity to see on this movie. So thank you very much for sharing this fantastic platform with Belgrade. And yes, I can sign, and our mayor will sign in person very soon, I hope.
Thank you, Jovanka, and welcome Belgrade.
Thank you. No, this doesn't work.
Thank you to all of the cities who have been with us today, who are here with us, and those who sent messages. Now, for the last part of the session, I'll hand you back over to Catherine.
Thanks, Tom. I think we need a collective applause for these 7 courageous cities that actually don't really know what they are doing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Robert. I mentioned already before that the 7 cities were already followed. So one thing, what you are is, you are pioneers. Who's missing? Jan, I get a sign. Yeah, that's okay, it's coming. Okay, I'm prepared. Thanks a lot. They are pioneers of more cities that already have expressed their interest to join this, this movement. We talked about movements, but to join this process under continuous construction. So I would like to give the floor very briefly to greet us and tell us why they actually think they should join this seal, and they will join the seal with signing the memorandum today. I would like to move to Malta here, to a professore of theatre studies in the School of Performing Arts, representing the city of Birgu in Malta, Professor Frank Camilleri. A brief statement of congratulations, please, to the 7 cities, and from me to you, congratulations and a big welcome to the group to sign the memorandum in a second.
Thank you, Catherine. It's my pleasure to be here. So, as you said, I'm representing Birgu. Birgu is a small city from a small island, but even by the standards of Malta, this old maritime and medieval city of less than 4,000 inhabitants. But Birgu punches well above its weight in terms of its past history and its vision for the future. The fact that I am here today testifies to the objective of the Mayor and Local Council of Birgu to put in a bid for European Capital of Culture in 2031. You may have heard of the Great Siege of Malta of 1565. That siege was victorious because Birgu, the Borgo of the castle, was victorious. In fact, after that event, Birgu was named Vittoriosa. On behalf of the mayor, John Boxall, and the local council of Birgu, it is my honor also as a native and inhabitant of the city of Birgu to sign the EFA seal, with the hope of victory and success once again for ECOC 2031 and beyond. That is important, not just for that event, but to be continually involved. I have no doubt that participating in the seal will help to achieve and live that dream. Thank you all also for the invitation of being here.
Thank you, and please come up on the table. You are signing this part that is confirming the 7 signatures here. Thank you very much. Welcome. We have one more city of Birgu. One more city online. I think the mayor is apologized for different reasons, but we have Giacomo with us from the city of Cividale de Friuli. Giacomo, a brief greeting to you on behalf of the city, director of the Mittelfest.
Hello, hi everybody. I'm very glad to see you nevertheless online, and so sad not to be there with you. I'm here just to a very brief way from our major, Daniela Bernardi, who is very glad to have signed the memorandum for EFA seal. Is an important step for Cividale del Friuli and Mittelfest also together, because Cividale del Friuli is very linked to our festival as an important city under the program, UNESCO program for the heritage of Lombard culture. Having a festival such Mittelfest is a main question and a central point for the city of Cividale del Friuli, in which culture is one of the most important feature of the city itself. So it's very important also for us as Mittelfest, considering our work inside EFA, and I want also to thank all of you for what you did for this important EFA seal, and also the memorandum for the work after our common and shared values. And I'm also happy that Cividale del Friuli, I think, is the first city for Italy joining the EFA seal. So all my waves to all of you, from also the major, who apologizes for her absence this morning, but other duties got her. So thank you all, and have a good meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, Giacomo, and buona guarigione. Greetings. Next time you will be with us in Spain, in Peralada. So the city has signed, an applause indeed, into the screen to the north of Italy. We have more cities, and I'm here referring to Alexandre Bulchenko, who is here with us, who has always been, as I mentioned before, the bridge to many, many festivals in Ukraine, and also to many cities in Ukraine that participated in previous activities of EFA. I'm mentioning here the EFA Awards that were given to Gogol Fest in Ukraine, and the contacts with the city of Odessa, the city of Mariupol, and the city of Kiev have always been very intense. And I hope, Alexandre, maybe with 2 words from you on the screen, because we started late and we run out of time. We should finish in 5 minutes this session, and we will have that coffee break in 5 minutes' time. I just wanted to give you the floor. Please unmute yourself and maybe witness that indeed we will keep on the link also on the cities level with cities in Ukraine.
Thank you very much. And really greeting from Ukrainian cities. I can't send the greeting from Mariupol because it's destroyed now and occupied, but from Odessa and Kiev I can send greeting, and I think we can in the future join this seal and the network of the cities, because festivals continue in our cities, in Kiev, in Dnipro, in Lutsk. Festivals are a very important part now of our life because there is a very important tool for inspiring refugees coming from different parts of Ukraine, and festival workers now are working as cultural therapists, and they could offer their skills, their experience to support many people which lost their homes in the eastern and southern part of Ukraine. I hope that in future our cities will be successful members of this network, and it will be soon. But anyway, from our festivals and our cities, I have met yesterday with some representatives of our cities. We would like to send our wish to the summit and hope that the next year some of our cities will come to the next summit and will present our vision of these activities in future. Well, and what I can say, I'm now in Kiev, in the downtown of Kiev. Today is calm day without air alert. The city is very busy, and I hope that all our cities will return to the normal life, and it means that it will be rich with festivals and cultural activities. Thank you once more for great support from EFA and from all festivals and from all cities supporting Ukraine in our time.
Thank you, Alexandre. You have a warm applause. I don't know if you can hear it, but we are with you. And to conclude the session with one more signature, I think it's important that we also invite Sona here to us on stage on behalf of Armenia and on behalf of the city, whoever the mayor may be, because mayors change, institutions replace their people, but the city and the festival life in these cities goes on. And I would like Sona to address some words on behalf of the city and on behalf of Armenia. We had planned to have various representatives here with us, but due to the situation tonight and a lot of other duties now that are at stake, I'm happy, Sona, that you are taking the floor on behalf of the city of Yerevan.
Thank you. Good morning. Good afternoon. It's a privilege for me to talk about Yerevan as a festival city. Actually, our Vice Minister, the Deputy Minister of Culture, was supposed to sign today, but our government was on an emergency call this night and they were staying in the offices. There was an attack from Azerbaijan, a large attack, including rockets, artillery, drones. So we hope it will start soon and will not develop into another war. But Yerevan is a festival city and we have over 1 million inhabitants here, and we have many festivals, including very famous film festival. And our festival, Yerevan Perspectives, is proudly carrying name of the city, which is celebrating 2,800 more years of history and much more history in the back. So I would like to be sure that we will continue our activity and festivals will grow, and power of arts and cultural diplomacy will empower and will stop any kind of aggression. I'm happy to sign it and to be part of the community. Yerevan has many festivals, also theater festival, dance. Right, on behalf of Yerevan Perspectives, yes, right?
Exactly.
Thank you for the bright future.
Thank you, Sona. And yes, indeed, we are working for that bright future and a bright present at the same time. A last video message now, and then it's coffee break. But I believe we promised it all together to Barbara Gessler from the European Commission. not just to show pro forma, but also to underline really that the Commission is supporting EFA in these activities, in these extra activities that we do beyond organizing a General Assembly, organizing budgets and projects and so forth. So it's with very much gratitude that we are here listening to Barbara Gessler and thank the European Commission for its support.
Dear colleagues, hello to Yerevan. I wish I was there with you, but I'm, hélas, in Brussels. I hope you will have a really nice meeting, a nice gathering in a very special place, I assume. But I wanted to give you this this short message of welcome, just to tell you that, of course, you know, and we've been in this partly together, that as the European Commission is following very closely on what the festivals are doing and the European Festival Association is doing with regards to cities and regions, and we also know, we're all aware that this community building aspect of festivals is definitely a joint endeavor that needs the support of all of us. And when I say all of us, I mean cities, national, regional interlocutors, of course, the European Festivals Association and you, but of course also it needs a lot of local and regional governance, and all of this to be working together in favor of a development of cities and of local communities is something that we have to strive for together. And Europe that's its richness, is a festival continent. We have seen much of this since and over the summer. It's these festivals are mainly lived in cities and in regions. And I would like to very much congratulate the 7 initiating cities that are Bergen, Belgrade, Ghent, Ljubljana, Leeuwarden, Krakow, and Edinburgh for their commitment to invest into the power of festivals and the power of the arts locally, and give the example to so many more cities Europe-wide to join the EFFE seal for festival cities and regions. I think this is really a remarkable initiative. And I know that already today more cities and regions follow your example of your initiating statement. And I'll be very curious to hear after this meeting that you're having now in Yerevan. I'll be curious to hear the results and the way you intend to or are already implementing the seal in your cities. And I'm fairly sure that we will be able to draw also inspiration from this initiative, also for the policy level, for policy development. And we are being asked how can festivals and festival cities contribute to further developing this kind of community building and local level rooting, and I'm sure that therefore the results of this meeting you're having will inspire us and will contribute to being a basis for further good policy. I wish you nice days, and I hope to see you soon in person here or there, at a festival or outside. Goodbye.
Applause.